Before, before Yoel got on stage, I tell you a personal story with Yoel. I was to Yoel's wedding in the desert, and he got us to a place where actually it's kind of like a family for children from disadvantaged family that had a very rough life. So they have like a farm in the desert where they take care of them. And I asked myself, like, why Yoel is getting married in this place? And then I realized he's really a social entrepreneur by heart and a social investor. He actually donated money for them to build like an amphitheater for them to host weddings, to host events, to host parties. And he said, I want to set the example. So actually all the investment he made, instead of getting a wedding in Chavat Ronit or other place in Israel, he did in a place where he donated. And this donation actually led them to have a profitable business later on. So Yoel, such a pleasure to have you on stage.
So great to see you.
You know, you were kind of like one of the pioneers to go and preach that doing good is not something different than being a VC. You can be a VC and do good at the same time. Could you teach us for a second the magic, how one can do social impact investment and still be profitable?
Well, I think that's the best way to be profitable. Actually, as a kid, I didn't know something else. I come from the family who founded Teva, which is the biggest and the most successful Israeli corporate that has ever been. Now it's a little bit weaker, although it's becoming stronger a little. And what I knew about, both my parents were intellectuals, so the only thing I knew about business as a kid, Teva, this is business. And actually my great-grandfather, which his name was Chaim Salomon, he founded Teva because there was lack of medicine in Israel. And he said, let's build something that will deal with this problem. And when they started with the war with Germany, they started manufacturing medicine in Israel. Okay, so, and he didn't call himself an impact guy. He was just a great businessman. Okay, so as far as my perspective, business, I grew up on the belief that businesses should do good to the world. And if they're not doing good to the world, then they're not supposed to be. So when I came doing business, I said, I understood that I was very much different. And I said, okay, let's build some kind of a concept on it.
When you're doing social investment, do you actually tend to attract different kind of LPs? I used to be a partner in a normal VC, JVP. Do you attract different kind of LPs, different kind of individuals that want to be part of your journey? Or is it the same LPs that would go to any VC?
Well, it's a complicated question. I think, for example, Ogen, for example, is something a little bit different than other businesses that have a potential to go global and everything. So different kind of mindsets between those two. In many aspects, I think most entrepreneurs and most VCs are, in a way, they're kind of an impact. VCs, kind of an impact angels. They all want to do good to the world. And what can be better than waking up in the morning and investing in people and working with people who want to change the world, who are young and optimists, et cetera, et cetera.
Yoel, what's the way to do due diligence on the social impact? I know how to do due diligence on financial charts. How do you actually due diligence or evaluate the social impact of the company?
Well, I have a better, for myself, have a better way to explain it, and this is not impact, this is purpose. Yeah, Saul Singer talked about purpose. So the purpose of business is actually not to maximize the profits. The purpose of businesses is to fulfill its purpose. Yeah, a bank is supposed to preserve and keep our monies. And a pharma corporation is supposed to make us feel healthier, et cetera, et cetera. And the fact that we believe that businesses are supposed to maximize their profits is wrong. It's a myth. It's something that we need to change our mindset regarding that.
By the way, I totally agree with this approach, but unfortunately, we don't necessarily see that the pharma companies are geared toward better medicine, sometimes.
We're here to change it, Nimrod. What are you talking about?
So, Yoel, I know that October 7th took you by storm, just as all of us, but you immediately kind of like, get your act together and started being, a visionary for how to change society after October 7th. Could you share a little bit of what's your roadmap of changing actually society through investments?
Well, first, I think this huge tragedy that we had on October 7th and up until now is definitely a very big crisis. Very big crisis, and the fact that most Israelis volunteered in many things is amazing. And it echoes, we need to deeply understand what is a crisis. And a crisis is also an opportunity. Okay, in Chinese, crisis and opportunity are the same word. And actually, I found it to be because of a crisis, because of a tragedy. My brother died. I wanted to do business with my brother when he was alive. And I was teaching in university. I was supposed to become a PhD. And then, but I wanted, okay, take me with you, whatever you do. He didn't really want to do it. So after his death, I founded To Be. To Be is two brothers. So what is happening is that he didn't want to do business with me when he was alive. Now I'm doing business with him every day. And this is amazing. And I think if I can say something which is a little bit intimate, when I look at his heart, that has the exact mindset to make Israel a better place. Oh, when I founded To Be, I found it as an impact fund, yeah? So, and when I look at what Yizar is doing is so inspirational that I cannot explain. He had the biggest tragedy that one can ever have, and immediately after is building the opportunity. I know when I look at my father, when he lost his son, I think my father is a very strong person, but actually I think he died first and foremost because of the death of my brother. And when I look at his eye, I say, wow, this is someone to admire.
Yeah, truly inspiring.
Yeah.
And, it's sometimes inspiring to see how people find the strengths and the resilience at the hardest of times. And
unbelievable.
That's something, admirable. I wonder if you were to look not only in investments on like what good technology can bring, but what is a society? I think we had a very rough year in society. It was, October 7th was, I think, the climax of a very hard and challenging year we had in Israel. And we have to restart Israel. It's not only restart investments. How do we use social investment or social impact to restart Israel? Where would you focus your effort?
Well, it's a very good question. Actually, what we're starting to do right now, actually we started doing it before October 7th, and now it's becoming much more relevant than it was relevant before October 7th, and what we're moving forward the concept of ILF, Israel First. Nowadays, actually, something like 4-6 months from now, back, we invest only in startups who have some kind of commitment to the development of Israel, okay? Because there is a myth, a belief that we have no chance with our startup in Israel. We have to start with the R&D and then run away to build organizations abroad because there's no market. One day when we'll have peace in the Middle East, we'll have a market. But for now, we don't have a market. And it became almost like, no, we don't invest in Israel, no. And then I reflect back about the most successful Israeli company that has ever been, which is Teva. And it started doing business in Israel. So what we truly believe that we should stop the concept of the shoemaker going barefoot.
Well, by the way, I totally agree with you because I think Israeli companies were kind of like driven by investors, go overseas, look for opportunities over there. However, quite often they didn't work with design partners locally to perfect the product, to understand the need, to make the customer experiences they need. I can tell you firsthand with my company, the best design partners I have is large Israeli companies. They work with me, they actually support me, and they're committed to the process. So I'm
absolutely,
totally with you.
There's a deep understanding. There's a deep understanding between the design partners and Israelis. We know each other, the same culture, the same language. It's a true opportunity. And this is amazing. And I want to refer to what Saul said before, which I read the book, which was amazingly interesting. And I want to add to that another layer, which I actually wrote in my book that I published a little bit before the war, so we have to postpone it. And I took the Parashat HaShavua from the perspective of entrepreneurship. And I believe we have a sense of purpose because it's not only that we're the startup nation, we are the purpose nation. Okay, we're the nation of purpose, and it started 3,000 years ago with the demand of the Lord to Abraham, go thee out of thy country, out of thy kindred, out of thy father's house, to a land that I will show you. Yeah, and he built a land, and he was the founder of monotheism, and he was the founder of Judaism. So actually, we in the past succeeded in Tikkun Olam, in Or LaGoyim. And when Saul said that we are here to save the world, it comes from there, yeah? Because if we came back to Israel with all the balagan that we're doing in this neighborhood, yeah? So we must have a sense of purpose which is stronger and deeper than what we ever think. And this is fulfilling our purpose and bring the world, moving the world to a better place. This is like, it's embedded in the genes of every Jewish person.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Wow, I have to tell you, it's such an honor, to sit with you, Yoel, to hear from
it's an honor
Isa
to be with you.
earlier,
Come on.
to understand such inspirational people that give us a sense of the optimism and a sense of purpose at such a time.
Wait, before you go. Actually,
Yoel, thank you so much.
Of my book. Wait. One copy of my book that is talking about the importance of the relationship. It's going to be translated into English very soon. The importance of the connection between Jews in Israel and Jews abroad, and how we can become a collective consciousness that brings it to the world. Yeah.